But you'll hear some few boys seated. Dear, itu si mbaya. Men are polygamous by nature. Which nature? Which nature? Last time I checked, we were created in the image and likeness of God. Which nature is this one? That makes you polygamous. That makes you date a girl at New Life and date another one at Lavington. Commit to this one in marriage, but chase the other ones for fun. Which nature is this? Which one? Is lust. I would call it so. Lust. I am almost done. Solomon, his son, took after him. In fact, Solomon upgraded to a Pro Max. He said, if my father had just this, I want to beat my father. 700 wives, 300 concubines. And I know there are women that were married by Solomon, not because they loved him. They were married because I'm getting married to the king. Bora jina. Sijali vitu zingine. Afadhali ulie kwa Range Rover kuliko kucheka kwa baiskeli. These things are not easy. We are discussing. They are not. They are not easy. The book, we have a book here called the General Conference Bulletin, chapter 7 of Solomon. Says this, but Solomon looked to man instead of God. And he found his supposed strength to be weakness. He brought to Jerusalem the leaven of the evil influences which were perpetuated in polygamy and idolatry. And every man in Israel would look at the king and say, this is a king anointed by God and has 1,000 wives. So we can also keep at least 5, 5, 4, 4, 10, 10. I mean 10 versus 1,000. Hiyo ratio. Hata wewe unaiangalia vizuri. When Solomon writes his books, he writes with a heavy heart. There are men and women that have died, influenced by Solomon, died in sin, never to see eternity. He laments it. And he writes with a heavy heart. He cannot forgive himself. He cannot. I know you'll ask me difficult questions. I have no answer. I'll take you back to how it was in the beginning, because I have no symptomatic solutions. If you want rest for your soul, the beginning. I personally come from a home. My grandpa had 2 wives. To date, it has never worked. As we speak. I was born when my father was long dead. My grandfather. My father was class 7 when the father died. So you can be so sure I was born many years. Didn't even see my grandpa. But the wars that rage in that home, the bitterness, the hatred, to beat. There is nothing good in polygamy. You ruin your life, never to see the kingdom of heaven. Nothing good. Nothing good. I'm speaking to my young girls that have cleared university and are unable to find life in a simple way from scratch and are bent on targeting someone's house. It's because society no longer regards polygamy as sin. But in the books of God, it is still sin. You would rather live and die single than entangle yourself in a polygamous setup with the excuse that men are few. The men in the world are fewer than women. Who told you? That statistics, who took it? When it was taken, I never heard about it even on TV that we have some samples. Never heard about it. Let me see anyone here who was a sample in that statistic. And did they factor in that we had women that are elderly? Well, once married, they're now widowed. Did they factor even widows? To conclude that men are fewer than women. Chances are the excess of women are widows and the elderly. Even right now, I can check single men, so many. Single. Why can't you just date each other? What is happening? Every year in, year out, I meet young people. Pastor, I am of age. Help me get someone. Pray for me, I get someone. And I'm wondering, what is this nonsense that the ratio is? What is happening? When I was seated with these young girls that had come to brief me over the dinner tonight, I hope you have signed up over the dinner tonight. And they were telling me areas to touch on. I said, I'm aware of all those things. We'll talk about them. So I asked them, why do you have these dinners? I say, one is to build relationships that would culminate in marriage. Which group is this? These are youths. So ages what to what? 23 to 30. Oh. Why do you have that? Why can't you just open up this thing? Because if you are a 30-year-old girl in that group, your husband, you'll never meet them in that dinner. And I asked them, why couldn't you open it up to Association of Adventist Young Professionals, 35 plus, not married, established? Account. When they come, they meet 36, they meet some 28 or 30. Compatible. But because you're insisting on finding your pair within your same age group. So you meet some 26-year-old boy meeting with a 26-year-old girl. Say, we met in a church function. It will not work.